Dubai is a dreamland, right? Seven-star hotels, the tallest buildings, golden Lamborghinis. But just a few miles away from all that luxury, there's a world that Dubai doesn't want you to see.
Dubai is often painted as a city of dreams, a stunning, almost surreal oasis of opportunity and wealth rising from the desert sands. The city's iconic skyline, with its shimmering skyscrapers like the Burj Khalifa, golden beaches, and images of fast cars and endless luxury, attracts hopeful people from all over the world. For many, it represents a fresh start, a chance to rewrite their stories under the bright desert sun. But beyond these glossy postcards and viral social media posts lies a starkly different reality that many residents are living every day. Life in Dubai is becoming increasingly difficult, especially for the millions who call it home without citizenship, stability, or clear long-term security. The promise of prosperity feels farther away, overshadowed by rising costs and a daily grind many did not anticipate. Nothing weighs heavier on the minds of Dubai's residents than the skyrocketing cost of housing. Over the last decade, rents have soared at a rate no one could have predicted, far surpassing any growth in wages or incomes. Real estate reports from early 2025 highlight this brutal reality. Rents for apartments rose by 27%, while rents for villas spiked by an astonishing 36% in just 1 year. This is more than just numbers, it shapes the very lives of millions. In neighborhoods like downtown Dubai, Jumeirah Village Circle, or Dubai Marina, securing even a modest one-bedroom apartment now demands between 70,000 and 130,000 dirhams annually, translating to monthly rents of about 6,000 to 10,000 dirhams, or roughly $1,600 to $2,700 USD. This reality is harsh, especially when many locals and expatriates earn wages far below what's needed to comfortably cover these costs. What does this mean for residents? Many find themselves squeezed into tiny, cramped studios that offer little privacy or comfort. Young professionals share apartments with strangers as a financial necessity. Families that once enjoyed spacious, comfortable homes are now forced to downsize to ever smaller spaces, sacrificing living quality and sometimes even basic amenities. For many workers, rent alone consumes 70 to 80% of their entire income, leaving little to nothing for food, transport, savings, or healthcare. Yet, while these struggles pile up for the average person, luxury real estate developments continue to sprout like wildfire. Towering high-rise apartments, glittering megastructures filled with infinity pools and designer interiors are marketed to international investors and the ultra-wealthy, accentuating the divide between the city's wealthy elite and its working class.
So most of these people you see living out in Dubai, they're not really living. I've heard and I've seen so many people that are crying behind closed doors,
Housing is only the beginning of Dubai's financial squeeze. The cost of everyday essentials has climbed relentlessly, hitting the pocketbooks of families and individuals striving just to keep up with rising prices. Consider the staple that many take for granted: bread. Just a few years ago, a loaf cost about 5 dirhams. Today, that price has crept closer to 7 dirhams per loaf. Milk, another basic necessity, has jumped even more sharply, from about 6 dirhams per liter to roughly 9. Fresh fruits and vegetables, which make up an important part of a healthy diet, have surged by anywhere between 20 and 30% over the past couple of years alone. For families budgeting every dirham, these increases aren't mere annoyances. They are real threats to being able to feed their loved ones properly. Groceries now take an outsized share of monthly expenses, shrinking the money left for other needs. Utility bills weigh heavily as well. Electricity and water rates have jumped 15 to 20% recently. In the face of Dubai's blistering summer heat, air conditioning is not optional, it's vital for survival. Rising rates translate to hundreds of extra dirhams every month for many households, adding to the burden. But the financial assault doesn't stop here. Transportation costs are rising too, whether residents rely on taxis, ride shares, public transit, or their own vehicles fueled by increasing gas prices. Medical expenses, including medications, doctor visits, and emergency care, also take bigger chunks from earned income. On top of this, parents face soaring school fees, which for many can reach tens of thousands of dirhams annually per child, draining family finances and adding to stress. All these rising costs combined have sent the overall living expenses beyond what many residents, especially middle and low-income workers, can reasonably afford.
A single person now is looking at approximately between $1,900 to $2,150 per month. That's approximately 7,250 dirhams to 7,900 dirhams just for basic living expenses. For a family of four, you're looking at around $4,500 to $4,900 on living expenses. But these numbers don't tell the whole story.
As the cost of living soars, wage growth remains stubbornly stagnant, putting residents in an even tighter financial squeeze. In 2025, salary increases across most sectors averaged around 4%, a number woefully behind the inflation rate of over 7%. In practical terms, this means the average worker is effectively earning less than before in terms of purchasing power. Job security has become another major concern for those living and working in Dubai. Amidst ongoing economic shifts and global uncertainties, many companies, especially in sectors like real estate, finance, banking, and technology, have shed employees or slowed new hiring. Skilled workers face shrinking opportunities as competition rises and companies become more cautious. Low-wage workers, meanwhile, often find themselves in precarious positions with long hours, low pay, and little protection. To survive, many residents juggle 2 or even 3 jobs, working exhausting shifts without adequate rest or benefits. This constant stress wears down workers physically and emotionally, dimming hopes of moving up the economic ladder or saving for the future. The harsh reality for many is living paycheck to paycheck, constantly balancing competing demands, with little room for emergencies or savings. The financial realities residents live with extend far beyond dollars and dirhams. Money struggles seep into families, deeply impacting mental health, relationships, and overall well-being. Recent public health data indicates that roughly 1 in 4 residents suffers from high levels of stress due to financial pressures and persistent job uncertainty. It is common to hear stories of parents worried sick over unpaid school fees and the looming costs of their children's education, a burden that weighs heavily on families. Many workers mask their exhaustion, juggling the demands of multiple jobs just to keep food on the table and rent paid. Young professionals question the very possibility of buying homes or starting families here, as climbing living costs feel insurmountable. There are countless accounts of individuals feeling trapped, pinched between the dazzling promises Dubai once made and the harsh daily realities they face. Behind closed doors, many struggle silently with anxiety, depression, and a sense of hopelessness. Dubai's glittering image remains a beacon to the wealthy, tourists, and global investors. But for the country's real engines, teachers, nurses, drivers, clerks, cleaners, and small business owners, the rising costs present an existential challenge. Nearly 85% of Dubai's 3.6 million residents are expatriates, often living without long-term security or citizenship options. This precariousness adds to the difficulties of building stable lives. Recent surveys reveal a stark trend. Nearly half of Dubai's expatriate population is seriously considering leaving within the next 2 years, pushed out by rising costs and shrinking job prospects. Unless urgent changes come, Dubai risks a future divided sharply between an elite few enjoying excess and many more struggling to maintain dignity and basic living standards. Dubai's story of rapid growth and spectacular achievements is remarkable, but it now faces difficult crossroads. To maintain its place as a vibrant and inclusive global city, Dubai must address these growing pressures head-on. Affordable housing initiatives, fair wage policies, stronger labor protections, and enhanced social supports are crucial. Without such reforms, social cohesion may fray, and the city's famed development narrative risks unraveling under the weight of too many struggling residents. For now, Dubai remains a city of dazzling promise to some, but for millions of its residents, it is a daily fight for survival, for hope, and for dignity under the shadow of its iconic skyline.